Hi, my name is Mark Petroni, and today I'm going to discuss The Five Levels of Leadership, a book written by John C. Maxwell. More specifically, I'm going to discuss Level 1, which is position. John C. Maxwell said, "It's a great place to visit, but you wouldn't want to live there," in regards to position. And what he means by that is leadership traditionally begins with position. Either someone is placed into a new management position, someone's appointed as a captain of a sports team, or they're assigned to lead a group of people, maybe for a project. And what comes with that is the position of leadership, but not necessarily people respecting you and listening to what you have to say. He goes on to say that there's nothing wrong with that, but it's up to the leader to earn everyone's respect and to earn that position to where he's been placed into. Here we can see the five levels of leadership, starting at the beginning with number one, which is position, moving on to permission, production, people development, and finally number five, which is the pinnacle. A leadership position is usually given to people because they have leadership potential. Maxwell went on to say that the best leaders promote people into leadership based on leadership potential, not on politics, seniority, credentials, or convenience. Displayed is a picture of legendary coach John Wooden, who's known as a fantastic leader. But one of the things that he would do was that he would not promote a captain of the team once before the season. He would wait until a couple of games had gone by, and people who had really shined in a leadership role would then be given the position of captain of the team. They wouldn't start captain; they would have to earn it through the first couple games, and then he would go back and assign it to who he thought was the best leader. The leadership position allows potential leaders to shape and define their leadership. Essentially, you have to know who you are. You have to know what type of leader you're going to be, and you have to know what you expect out of the people who are you are leading. There's a quote that Maxwell used in the book is leadership is much less about what you do and much more about who you are. So it's not necessarily your actions just in a leadership position, but it's everything from start to finish. It's how you act and how people see you acting for them to then follow the way that you are. Moving on, we're going to talk about values. Maxwell highlighted three values in the first level: ethical values, relational values, and success values. Ethical values are what does it mean to do the right thing for the right reason. Relational values are how do you build an environment of trust and respect with others. Success values are what goals are worth spending your life on. Having a leadership position is often misleading. Maxwell tells the story of the time that he was first put into a leadership position, which was at his church. While he was appointed the minister of the church and was perceived to be the leader, on paper, that wasn't the case. The oldest deacon of the church was the one who was most respected, the one who had all the congregation's trust. And that person was the one who was really in control, not necessarily Maxwell, even though he did have the title of head pastor of the church. Leadership is a journey, action, not position. Maxwell mentions it's very important that leadership is not a static thing. It's something that is growing, it's something that's changing, and something that's always adapting to different situations that a leader might be put in. It's not necessarily right or wrong, it's how a leader acts and adapts to different changes throughout the course of his role as the leader of a company. Position leaders focus on control instead of contribution. What that means is that leaders who rely on a position as their source of power are ineffective leaders. So a position leader would focus on the fact that he has gained the position and has gained the title, whereas someone who is really truly focused on those who he's leading and who's truly a team player will focus on what he's contributing to the team and how he can help lead the team to complete the goal rather than just trying to make himself look good along the way. People quit people. Employees often leave companies because of their superiors, not because of the company. What Maxwell means in this part of the book is that employees often don't quit because of the job. It's often because of a superior or a manager or someone above them who makes their job unsatisfying and unenjoyable. Kind of relying on the last slide, it's usually managers who rely on their position, someone who is just there for the power, not necessarily there to contribute to the team, often makes the people below them not enjoy their job, and which in turn can hurt the company and often results in that employee leaving the company. Here we have a comic that was actually displayed in the book as well. It says, I always give 110% to my job, 40% on Monday, 30% on Tuesday, 20% on Wednesday, 15% on Thursday, and 5% on Friday. People don't give their best to leaders they like the least. And kind of going back in the past two sides is employees who don't feel like their leader cares about them or treats them with respect often hurt the company by not giving their full potential to their job. Make the most of your position. Stop relying on position to push people. Trade entitlement for movement. Leave your position and move towards your people. Don't rely on the position itself to lead others. Go out, engage them, and find out what they need and what help they need, and use your position to help them move forward. The laws of leadership. A leadership position can be received in a day, but a leadership development is a lifelong process. While someone might gain a leadership position in a day, just going back to Maxwell's story about the church, that deacon took, a lifelong's work and a lifelong's of the respect that he's earned to gain his leadership position within the church. While it's not necessarily the pastor position that Maxwell had, he's the one who's most respected and has the trust of the congregation. People, not position, are a leader's most valuable asset. Don't rely on your position. Go out and engage those employees. Go out and engage the people who you're managing and help them complete their goals, which would in fact help everyone complete the central goal. Plan your growth. Thank people who invited you to leadership. Dedicate yourself to growth. Define your leadership. Shift from position to potential. Focus on vision. Plan your growth. Shift from rules to relationships. Initiate contact with your team. Don't mention your title. Learn to say, I don't know. Find a leadership coach. With all this being said, there's many things that you can take from position. Essentially, the central core message of level 1 is don't just rely on the title. You're still part of the team. You're not an outside force that's pushing in on a group of people. You're all in it together. And if you can effectively use all of your team members' skills and assets to work together towards to complete a central goal, you'll be able to achieve much, much more. Thank you very much.